in just 5 days of eating. This every morning, my memory came back vertical bar. Senior advice Norma, 72, stood frozen in aisle 7, staring at her shopping list like it was written in a foreign language. She'd driven to the store but couldn't remember why. Yesterday was worse. When her beloved grandson Jake visited, she blanked on his name completely, calling him Sweetie to hide her panic. Her sharp mind, once her greatest pride, was slipping away. But 5 days after trying one simple morning ritual, she shocked her family by reciting her favorite Shakespeare sonnet from memory. What she discovered could change everything for seniors facing memory decline. Stay with me. This isn't about expensive supplements or complicated routines. Norma wasn't always like this. Just 2 years ago, she was the undisputed crossword champion at her senior center, finishing the Sunday New York Times puzzle in under an hour. She was the family historian, remembering every birthday, anniversary and childhood story that brought 3 generations together. Then the slip-ups started. Small things at first, forgetting where she put her reading glasses, walking into rooms and wondering why she was there. She laughed it off, calling it senior moments. But the lapses grew bigger and more frightening. She'd forget her longtime neighbour's name mid-conversation, then spend sleepless nights wondering if this was the beginning of the end. The shame became unbearable. She started avoiding social gatherings, terrified of blanking on familiar faces. She missed her doctor's appointment twice in 1 month because she simply forgot. Phone conversations became minefields. She'd repeat the same story 3 times, seeing the polite patience in her daughter's voice. The breaking point came when she got lost driving to her own church, a route she'd taken for 30 years. Sitting in her car, crying and confused, she felt like a stranger in her own life. The vibrant, sharp woman who once helped her grandchildren with their homework was disappearing, and she felt powerless to stop it. How many of you have noticed your memory isn't what it used to be? If this sounds familiar, please hit that like button. You're not alone in this struggle. And make sure to subscribe because what I'm about to share could be the answer you've been searching for. Norma's story is far from over. Norma's daughter Linda couldn't watch her mother fade away any longer. She scheduled an appointment with Dr. Sarah Chen, one of the city's leading memory specialists. Norma dreaded the visit, imagining expensive brain scans and devastating diagnoses that would confirm her worst fears. But Dr. Chen surprised them both. After listening to Norma's story, she didn't immediately order costly tests or prescribe medications. Instead, she leaned forward and said something unexpected. Before we explore expensive interventions, I want you to try something for exactly 1 week. It costs less than $5 and has helped 90% of my patients improve their cognitive function. Norma and Linda exchanged skeptical glances. After months of worry, the solution seemed too simple. Dr. Chen explained, "Most people think memory loss is irreversible after 65, but recent neuroscience research proves otherwise. Your brain remains capable of forming new neural pathways well into your 80s and beyond. This process is called neuroplasticity, and specific nutrients can dramatically accelerate it." She continued, "The problem isn't that your brain is broken, it's that it's not getting the right fuel at the right time. Most seniors eat foods that actually impair memory formation, especially in the morning when your brain is priming itself for the day ahead." Dr. Chen pulled out a simple diagram showing how certain compounds cross the blood-brain barrier and stimulate the production of BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, essentially fertilizer for brain cells. When you consume these nutrients within the first hour of waking, you're taking advantage of your brain's natural morning plasticity window. This is when your neurons are most receptive to growth and repair. The doctor's research was compelling. Patients who followed this morning protocol showed measurable improvements in memory tests within days, not months. Brain imaging revealed increased activity in the hippocampus, the brain's memory center, after just 1 week of consistent morning nutrition. "Think of your brain like a garden," Dr. Chen explained. "You've been trying to grow beautiful flowers in depleted soil. This morning ritual provides the exact nutrients your neural garden needs to flourish again." But here's what Dr. Chen emphasized most. The specific timing of when you eat this matters more than what you eat. The wrong timing can actually reduce absorption by 70%, which is why so many brain supplements fail to deliver results. Dr. Chen handed Norma a simple recipe card that would change everything. Here's the exact morning combination that rebuilds neural pathways, and I want you to write this down because getting the proportions right is crucial for success. Start with 1 cup of fresh blueberries. These contain anthocyanins that directly stimulate neurogenesis, the creation of new brain cells. Add 1 tablespoon of chopped walnuts, which provide alpha-linolenic acid, the specific omega-3 fatty acid your brain uses to build neural connections. Include 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, which regulates blood sugar and prevents the glucose spikes that damage memory centers. Mix these with half a cup of plain Greek yogurt. The probiotics support your gut-brain axis, while the protein provides sustained amino acids for neurotransmitter production. Finally, add 1 tablespoon of raw honey, which contains antioxidants that protect existing neurons while feeding beneficial brain bacteria. You must eat this within 30 minutes of waking up. Here's why. During sleep, your brain clears metabolic waste through the glymphatic system. Upon waking, your neurons are in a state called morning plasticity. They're primed for growth and repair. Miss this window, and your brain shifts into daytime maintenance mode, reducing nutrient absorption by up to 70%. Don't just throw these ingredients together. The preparation method increases absorption by 300%. First, crush the walnuts slightly with the back of a spoon. This breaks down the cellular walls, releasing more omega-3s. Mix the cinnamon with honey first, creating a paste that enhances the cinnamon's bioavailability. Let the blueberries sit at room temperature for 10 minutes before eating. Cold fruit slows digestion and nutrient absorption. Combine ingredients in this exact order: yogurt first, then honey-cinnamon paste, then room temperature blueberries, finally the crushed walnuts on top. Drink 16 ounces of water immediately upon waking before eating. Wait exactly 15 minutes after drinking water before eating your brain blend. This allows optimal stomach acid production for nutrient breakdown. Most seniors start their day with memory-damaging foods without realizing it. Coffee on an empty stomach spikes cortisol, which shrinks the hippocampus over time. Sugary cereals create glucose crashes that impair concentration for hours. White toast and jam cause inflammatory responses that damage neural connections. Even orange juice, often considered healthy, contains so much fructose that it overwhelms your liver and reduces brain blood flow. Your brain blend should be consumed at room temperature, never cold from the refrigerator. This protocol works because of neuroplasticity, but neural pathways need consistent stimulation to strengthen. Don't double the portions thinking more is better. Your brain can only process specific amounts of these nutrients at once. What do you usually eat for breakfast? Tell us below. Most people are shocked to discover their morning routine is actually sabotaging their memory. Let me explain exactly why this simple breakfast succeeded where expensive supplements failed Norma. Your brain has a protective shield called the blood-brain barrier that blocks most substances from entering. This is why 95% of brain supplements never reach their target. But the nutrients in this breakfast blend have special transport mechanisms. Anthocyanins from blueberries use glucose transporters to piggyback into brain tissue. The omega-3 DHA from walnuts has its own dedicated carrier proteins that actively pump it across the barrier. Cinnamon compounds enhance these transport systems, essentially opening the gates wider for brain nutrition. For decades, scientists believed brain cells couldn't regenerate after age 30. That myth has been shattered. Groundbreaking research from Harvard Medical School proves that healthy 70-year-olds can grow new neurons at the same rate as 20-year-olds when given proper nutritional support. When seniors consume the right nutrients consistently, brain scans show measurable increases in hippocampal volume within 2 weeks. Your brain is literally growing new tissue. During REM sleep, your brain transfers information from temporary storage to long-term memory, a process called consolidation. Upon waking, this system remains active for 30-45 minutes. Consuming specific nutrients during this window supercharges consolidation efficiency by 400%. The Greek yogurt provides tryptophan, which your brain converts to serotonin, the neurotransmitter that regulates memory formation. Most seniors don't realize that chronic brain inflammation is the real memory thief. Standard American breakfasts, sugary cereals, processed meats, refined grains trigger inflammatory cascades that damage neural connections. Microglia, your brain's immune cells, become hyperactive and start attacking healthy neurons. This breakfast blend works as a powerful anti-inflammatory system. Blueberry anthocyanins reduce inflammatory markers by 60% within hours of consumption. Revolutionary research reveals that 90% of your brain's serotonin is produced in your gut. The probiotics in Greek yogurt don't just aid digestion, they manufacture neurotransmitters that directly influence memory and mood. Your brain consumes 20% of your daily energy, despite being only 2% of your body weight. Honey provides immediate glucose for neural function, while the slow-release energy from walnuts sustains brain metabolism for hours. Here's what makes this combination revolutionary. Each ingredient amplifies the others. Cinnamon increases antioxidant absorption from blueberries by 300%. But day 3 is when Norma experienced something incredible that even surprised Dr. Chen. Let me walk you through Norma's remarkable transformation, hour by hour, because this shows you exactly what to expect when you start this protocol. Norma ate her brain blend at 7:30 a.m., skeptical but desperate. By 10 a.m., during her usual morning coffee with neighbor Ruth, something felt different. The mental fog that had clouded her thoughts for months seemed lighter. She found herself following Ruth's story about her grandson's baseball game without losing track mid-conversation. For the first time in ages, she didn't have to ask, "What were we talking about?" The change was subtle but unmistakable. Her thoughts felt more connected, less scattered. Day 3, the breakthrough moment. This was the day that convinced Norma something real was happening. She was watering her garden when her neighbor Mrs. Patterson waved from across the fence. Without hesitation, Norma called out, "Good morning, Patricia." The name came effortlessly. No searching, no panic, no embarrassing pause. She hadn't remembered Patricia's name correctly in over 4 months. That evening, she called her daughter Linda, crying with joy. "I think my brain is coming back," she whispered. Day 5. The Crossword Victory. Friday morning brought Norma's biggest test. She'd avoided crossword puzzles for months, after repeatedly staring at clues that once seemed simple. But feeling confident, she picked up the newspaper puzzle. Clue by clue, the answers flowed. 7-letter word for memory aid, mnemonic, Shakespearean tragedy, Hamlet. She completed the entire puzzle in 45 minutes without checking answers or asking for help. When she filled in the final square, she actually cheered out loud. Week 2. The grandmother returns. The most powerful transformation came when her great-grandchildren visited. 8-year-old Emma asked if Grandma Norma remembered any card games. Instead of making excuses, Norma surprised everyone by teaching them hearts, spades, and go fish, complete with strategies and house rules she hadn't thought about in years. She recited the rules from memory, kept perfect score, and even remembered which cards had been played. Her son-in-law, Mark, watched in amazement as the sharp, quick-witted woman he'd married into the family 20 years ago emerged from the mental fog, the emotional avalanche. But the cognitive improvements triggered something deeper. Norma's confidence soared as she realized her mind wasn't permanently broken. It had just been undernourished. She started initiating phone calls instead of avoiding them. She volunteered to host Sunday dinner again. The woman who had been hiding from social situations was actively seeking them out. The ripple effects. By week 3, Norma was helping her neighbor Patricia with her taxes, complex calculations that would have overwhelmed her just a month earlier. She started reading novels again, retaining plot details and character names across chapters. She even began learning to use her smartphone, something she'd avoided because technology felt too confusing. The social renaissance. Most remarkably, Norma became an evangelist for brain health. She started a small breakfast group at her senior centre where 5 women tried the protocol together. They called themselves the Sharp Ladies and met weekly to share crossword puzzles and memory games. Norma went from isolated and ashamed to becoming a community leader. The medical validation. When Norma returned to Dr. Chen after 6 weeks, her cognitive assessment scores had improved by 40%. Her reaction time was faster, her word recall more accurate, and her ability to follow complex instructions had dramatically improved. Dr. Chen noted that Norma's results were typical, not exceptional, for patients who followed the protocol consistently. What's the first thing you'd want to remember clearly again? Would it be your grandchildren's names, important appointments, or maybe just feeling confident in conversations? Share in the comments below. Your memory goals matter, and they're more achievable than you think. The transformation wasn't just about memory, it was about reclaiming her identity as a sharp, capable woman. Norma's success inspired her entire senior centre, but each person needed slight modifications based on their specific challenges. Here's how to customize this protocol for your unique situation. For diabetes, the blood sugar safe version. If you're diabetic, like Norma's friend Carl, replace the honey with half a teaspoon of stevia and add 1 tablespoon of chia seeds. The chia seeds provide sustained energy without glucose spikes while delivering additional omega-3s. Monitor your blood sugar 2 hours after eating. Most diabetics see improved glucose control because cinnamon enhances insulin sensitivity. Carl's A1C actually improved while his memory sharpened. For food allergies, smart substitutions. Allergic to nuts? Replace walnuts with sunflower seeds or pumpkin seeds. Both provide brain-healthy fats. Can't tolerate dairy? Use coconut yogurt with added probiotics, or blend silken tofu with a probiotic supplement. For those avoiding honey, try pure maple syrup in smaller amounts, or blend dates into the mixture for natural sweetness. Enhancing with brain exercises. Combine your morning nutrition with simple cognitive workouts for amplified results. After eating your brain blend, spend 10 minutes on these activities. Write your grocery list from memory, then check it against what you actually need. Practice the alphabet backwards. This forces new neural pathways. Do mental math, multiply 2-digit numbers in your head. These exercises, performed with proper brain nutrition, accelerate neural plasticity. Word finding versus face recognition. Targeted approaches, struggling to find words mid-sentence. Add 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed to your blend. The lignans specifically support language centers. Practice reading aloud for 15 minutes daily to strengthen verbal pathways. For face recognition issues, increase blueberries to 1.5 cups and add a pinch of turmeric. The extra anthocyanins support visual memory processing. Practice the face name game. When meeting someone, immediately repeat their name 3 times silently while studying their facial features. Memory type modifications. Short-term memory problems. Add half a banana for extra potassium, which supports electrical nerve transmission. Long-term recall issues. Include 1 tablespoon of pumpkin seeds for zinc, essential for memory consolidation. Working memory challenges. Add a handful of spinach for folate, which supports processing speed. Medication interactions. If you're on blood thinners, limit walnuts to half a tablespoon and consult your doctor. Omega-3s can enhance anticoagulant effects. Taking diabetes medications, monitor blood sugar more frequently, as cinnamon may enhance drug effectiveness. On antidepressants, the tryptophan in yogurt may boost serotonin. Inform your physician about dietary changes. When to seek medical evaluation. This protocol complements but never replaces professional care. Seek immediate medical attention if you experience sudden, severe memory loss, confusion about time or place, difficulty recognizing family members, or dramatic personality changes. These could indicate strokes, medication interactions, or other serious conditions requiring urgent treatment. Schedule a cognitive assessment if memory problems worsen despite consistent nutrition, if you develop new symptoms like tremors or balance issues, or if family members express serious concerns about your mental state. The progressive approach: start with the basic protocol for 2 weeks. If results plateau, gradually add targeted modifications. Success requires patience. Your brain took years to develop these challenges and needs time to rebuild optimal function. Within 3 months of Norma's transformation, 23 seniors from her community centre tried this protocol. Here's what happened when real people with real memory challenges put this to the test. Out of 23 participants, 21 reported significant cognitive improvements within 2 weeks. That's a 91% success rate, better than most prescription memory medications. But here's what's remarkable. Those who didn't see initial results had skipped days or modified the recipe without guidance. Joyce, 78, had stopped driving due to confusion. I was terrified of getting lost. After 3 weeks on this protocol, I drove to my granddaughter's graduation, 45 minutes away, without GPS. Stanley, 74, couldn't follow TV shows anymore. My wife had to explain every plot. Now I'm watching complex dramas and actually remembering character names between episodes. Florence, 69, had given up reading. Books became meaningless word salads. Yesterday I finished a 300-page mystery novel and solved the case before the detective did. Days 1, 3, improved focus during daily activities, less mental fatigue. Week 1, better word recall, fewer tip-of-the-tongue moments. Week 2, 3, noticeable improvement in conversations, following directions. Month 1, return of confidence in mental abilities. Month 2, 3, sustained cognitive improvements, ability to learn new skills. Mild forgetfulness, misplacing keys, forgetting names. 95%, see improvement within 10 days. Moderate decline, difficulty following conversations, repeated questions. 85% improve within 3 weeks. Significant impairment, getting lost in familiar places. 60% show measurable progress over 6-8 weeks. Those who succeeded followed one simple rule. They prepared ingredients the night before. Morning decision-making is impaired when you're already experiencing memory issues. Pre-planning eliminated the mental burden of remembering the protocol when cognitive function was lowest. Stop this protocol and seek immediate medical care if you experience sudden severe confusion, inability to recognize family members, dramatic personality changes, new onset tremors, or memory loss that worsens rapidly despite consistent nutrition. These symptoms may indicate strokes, medication interactions, or other serious medical conditions. Here's the beautiful truth. Once cognitive function improves, most people can maintain results with 4-5 days per week of the protocol. Your brain builds nutritional reserves that sustain enhanced function, even with occasional breaks. The 10% who didn't see results had underlying medical conditions affecting nutrient absorption, were taking medications that interfered with brain nutrition, or had advanced cognitive decline requiring professional intervention alongside nutritional support. Are you ready to try this tomorrow morning? If you're sitting there thinking about all the memories you want to reclaim, all the confidence you've lost, all the mental sharpness that once defined you, this could be your turning point. Comment below, I'm starting tomorrow, if you're committed to giving this protocol 3 weeks of consistent effort. Norma went from forgetting her grandson's name to teaching card games in just 5 days. She proved that mental decline isn't inevitable, it's often just malnutrition in disguise. Your sharp mind is waiting to return. Tonight, write this shopping list. Greek yogurt, fresh blueberries, raw walnuts, cinnamon, raw honey. Tomorrow morning, within 30 minutes of waking, combine them exactly as I described. Give yourself the same gift Norma gave herself. Like this video if you're trying this tomorrow morning. Comment with your memory goal. What would you most want to remember clearly again? Subscribe for more brain-healthy solutions that actually work for seniors. Your confident, sharp mind starts tomorrow morning.